So, I know the New Age belief of when you have evil spirits, for lack of a better term, disruptive or disturbed spirits, that you sage the house. So does Feng Shui have some sort of magic stuff like that?
There are some transcendental cures, yes. Mirrors are a great transcendental cure. There's a great...
Because, I have that mirror at the bottom of the stairs there. I mean, is that a good thing, or...?
I would want to find out from you, does it always feel like you're going upstairs or downstairs, or you're going up and down the stairs more than you'd like to? Or do you feel like you're going to fall off the end of the stairs into this mirror? Because what a mirror does is it adds depth. So a mirror is great for when you want the room to look bigger, or you need a space. No,
I have a much more vain purpose for the mirror.
Well, then I would offer to you, because I noticed as I was coming down your stairwell, that the mirror is a little off-center.
Oh.
So when I come down the stairs, I am only seeing half of me.
Oh.
And so if it is indeed to watch Your Majesty descend the staircase, then let's hang the mirror front and center so that you can indeed see all of you all the time.
Oh.
And ideally, a note about mirrors, that when you're looking into a mirror, it's important that every member of the house can see clearly enough space around them, like their aura space, whether or not you believe in auras or see auras. We sort of have this layer of protection around us. And so ideally, when we're looking into a mirror at ourselves, we're not cut off here, we're not cut off here, we're not, cut here, or there's the pains going through the face. But ideally, it's a generous enough mirror that we can see all of us. And so let's change that mirror at the bottom of your staircase.
So when you're looking in the bathroom mirror, with the one that goes horizontally across the room, that covers enough. You don't have to worry about the lower extremities.
It doesn't... The effects of missing your feet, legs, waist are not as profound as when we see our own self-image.
Oh.
In fact, I've noticed that in certain households, when mirrors are indeed cutting the face, or a broken mirror, or the wife hangs it and she's about 5 inches shorter than the husband, and so the top of his head is cut off. Over time, those messages are, I'm not worthy. It leads to addictions, whether it be drug, alcohol, sex, gambling, because we don't see ourselves as a complete person. That husband with the head cut off most often will, over time, not feel honored for his thoughts or his contributions, or he won't feel as smart as, or she may intuitively belittle him and his contributions. So the self-image of the face is much more important than anything missing below.
So when you come in and, for lack of a better term, feng shui a place, what's the end result? How do I know it's been feng shuied?
Ideally, you don't. Because it is such
subtle,
a perfect reflection or a perfect manifestation of what you want. I've been in some spaces and they have no idea what feng shui is, they've never had a designer in there, they've done it all themselves, and you could say that it's been feng shuied because it feels like it's supporting them and where they want to go. It's supporting the types of relationships they want to have. It's supporting the successes that they'd like to see in their work and home life. So you can practice feng shui without ever saying it or without even knowing it.
So let me ask you this: when you say help you function better in certain aspects.
Yes.
So we have, I'm assuming, several aspects of our life: our professional life, our personal life, our personal relationships, our friendships, things like that. I'm assuming you can function better in some relationships than other, or in some aspects of your life than others. So is that something that feng shui helps to balance out?
Yes. If someone's work life is incredibly successful and they find that their personal relationships are suffering, then in their home, let's look at, is there a place where every member of the household can sit and make eye contact? Or is everything facing the TV? Sometimes there's no dining room table. Like, what is it that's nurturing of relationships? And feng shui says that there are certain guidelines to follow. Make sure that the bed is like this. Make sure that the dining room table has these properties. Make sure that the entranceway is wide enough for two people to enter in, because, and so there's these certain guidelines that I'm always going to go down my Feng Shui checklist.
Interesting.
And make sure that what you have in your environment is supporting what you want. Sometimes people don't want to date, so then let's make sure that their home really supports them as an individual. Some people, on the other hand, would love to get married and have lots of children and live happily ever after. So then let's set up their environment to welcome in a partner. Let's start getting some baby clothes, that you love, that you can even keep for a few years. But let's plant those seeds of what you want within your environment. We're surrounding ourselves with our goals and our affirmations and our intentions so that it's easier to move into that as a reality.
And Liv, what I'm curious about is, how do you start the process? When you arrive at my front door, what do I expect?
Oh, thank you. I actually start the consultation before I even get to your house. I'm paying attention to how I arrive at your house. How are the directions that you gave me? Do I pass by?
How were those directions I gave you?
They were actually great. There are some neighborhoods I've been through that have dilapidated buildings, or they're full of renters who are not maintaining the property. And sometimes it's best to offer your guests a longer route, so that the first time they come to your house, they're not shocked by what they're getting themselves into.
Had I known that, I would have sent you around the backside of Carlsbad Village Drive.
It was a beautiful drive.
Oh, good.
Beautiful, yes, thank you. And so then when I approach the front door, I'm looking for typical landscape blights, whether it be a dead tree or a pile of trash, or is there a dog run? What do I smell? I've smelled some dog runs a few blocks away, actually. That's contributing to the success or lack of.
Wow.
Is there anything greeting me before I get to the front door? Is my first experience, is it a dog sniffing my pants? Is it a wind chime that's too piercing or too loud? How's the mat? I'm looking at every step I take and how that may or may not be contributing to someone's experience in their home. Once I'm in the home, then I'll look at the living room, and ideally the living room really is a place to live. This is why we have a differentiation between a living room and a TV room, or a living room and a family room.
Yes, we don't have a TV in the living room.
Right, because that's the place for connection, and that's the place for
That's
relationship.
True. It is.
And you have it set up very nicely. You have, the couch is facing a chair, is facing the piano, so that it really is about communion, and it's about relating to each other. There is a place in your living room where two people can sit and make eye contact with each other, which is so important for nurturing relationships. I'm paying attention. So then, once we've gone through your living room, then the dining room. Ideally, every house has a place where people can sit and enjoy food. We eat on the run. This is an incredibly fast culture.
Yes.
One more Starbucks to get us through the day. And that can wear itself on our health over time. It's hard to concentrate over time. There's no surprise that ADD and ADHD are on those labels are on the climb, because we just get so stimulated we don't know how to slow down. So ideally, in every home, there's a place to sit and eat and really digest the food well. Even if you only sit at the dining room table for one meal, breakfast is out the door, lunch is at a restaurant,
right.
But if you can sit at the end of the day and eat. So I always pay attention to the dining room. What's happening in there? Is there a place for everyone to sit comfortably? Is everyone looking at the same types of stimulation? Sometimes people on one side of the table are looking out the window, and the other side of the table they're looking at the wall, and
the plates on the wall,
and so they're having two different dinner time experiences, and so sometimes that shows itself in arguments, or half the table can sit still, the other half can't. So we're looking at unifying the experience for everyone sitting at that table.